You're 8 years old, hammering nails into scrap wood outside your family forge in feudal Japan. 1580, when your father grabs your wrist. His calloused hand tight as iron, eyes hard as the anvil behind him. He's decided your fate. No questions, no choices, just a nod to the master swordsmith who's arrived at dawn. A man with burned scars crawling up his arms like dragon scales. Your mother packs rice balls you won't finish, her hands shaking. And just like that, you're apprenticed. Bound for 7 years, maybe more. Your childhood's over. The forge isn't down the road, it's a day's walk through mountains where wolves howl and bandits lurk. You're 8, small enough to fit in the coal bin. And now, you're property of a master whose reputation is built on broken boys. The workshop reeks of charcoal and burnt hair, and your lungs burn, not just from smoke, but from fear. Kids like you don't always survive, ever. You arrive at a compound, walls black from soot, where the master's assistants glare like you're an insult. Stripped of your village clothes, you're given a rough hemp robe that chafes. One boy whispers, he's been here 3 years and still hasn't touched steel. Another's missing 2 fingers, crushed under a falling anvil. Yeah, accidents. They happen when you're too slow, too clumsy, too human. The master doesn't speak to you for weeks. Sounds nice, right? Wrong. It's a test that'll leave you doubting everything. You fetch water from a freezing stream at dawn, haul coal until your back screams, and sleep on the floor next to the furnace. Your first job, sweep ash hour after hour, while senior apprentices hammer steel that glows like captured sun rays. Your hands blister, but crying's a luxury you can't afford. The rules are simple. Obey, watch, endure. Slip up, and you're not just punished. You're sent home in disgrace, maybe crippled, maybe worse. A boy next to you whispers about an apprentice who fell asleep during a night firing. His hand went into the coals. They say he still screams in his sleep. You're learning this fast. This isn't a workshop. It's a crucible. And you're the raw ore being tested for worth. 2 years have passed and you're 10 now, trapped in the forge's rhythm. A prison of fire and iron. The walls glow red at night, but the air's thick with smoke and expectation. You limp on blistered feet, each step a reminder that mastery means suffering, and suffering means you're still useful. Your days start before sunrise, stoking fires that could melt your face off. Your job? Keep the flames perfect while staying invisible. Let the temperature drop, and a bamboo rod cracks your shoulders. Waste good steel, and you're locked outside in winter with no food for a day. Hunger's a great teacher. Apparently making your first blade is the prize, and every apprentice here is playing a brutal game to get there. You're taught to read the steel's colour, feel the hammer's rhythm, and pour your soul into every fold. But the real test is the watching. That boy with the scarred hands, he sabotaged your coal pile so his fire burned hotter. Now you're restoking at midnight while he impresses the master. Another apprentice named Kenji slips you advice. Trust the steel, not them. They'll bury you in slag to rise higher. He's not wrong. Last month, a boy was caught stealing technique secrets for another forge. The master's assistants dragged him out, his screams swallowed by the mountain mist. They say the river ran red that week. Your big break comes when the master picks you to assist on a commissioned blade. You're handed tools worth more than your family's house, but it's a test, not a privilege. You hold the steel as the master hammers, each strike a thunderclap. His glare burns hotter than the forge. One wrong angle, a tremor, a hesitation, and you're not just dismissed, you're finished. Your arms shake, metal glowing dangerously close to your face. The master growls low and impatient as sweat pours down your soot-stained cheeks. You adjust the angle, breathing steady to hide your terror and hold firm. Silence. The master nods. Not worthless, he grunts, a thread of hope in this inferno. Then the gong sounds deep as a war drum. A samurai lord is coming tomorrow. Your heart hammers like the anvil, drowning out the forge's roar. If your work impresses him, you might advance to journeyman. If it doesn't, you're ash swept into the corner like the hundreds dismissed before you. You work through the night, folding steel, bound hands cramping, sparks flying like fireflies. The blade takes shape, each hammer blow a prayer. The master watches, eyes cold as quenched metal. His voice is quiet, but it's a blade at your throat. Perfection, or you'll regret your birth. You force focus, every muscle screaming as dawn breaks. Failure is not just shame, it's a lifetime hauling coal. You survive the inspection, but the cost echoes in your scarred palms. Your reflection a stranger. By 12, you're a shadow who's learned the forge's law. Please the master, dodge the senior's sabotage, and pray you don't end up like the boy who lost his hand last season. His screams still haunt the night air. Survival's your only art, and you're forging it in fire. You're 14, and the forge has hammered you into something harder, like steel folded 1,000 times. Your hands are scarred, your posture bent, and your eyes see only flaws in metal. You've learned to anticipate the master's needs and outwork the jealous seniors. But every day is walking a blade's edge over a pit of failure. The master's noticed you twice, he called you competent, and for one moment you felt like more than a tool. Now you're trusted with your first solo blade. Victory, right? Wrong. A blade is your proof of skill, but it's also a noose around your neck. That scarred hand boy, now a junior smith himself, spreads rumours you're using inferior steel. You're not, but truth's cheap when reputation's everything here. You're summoned before the master, his face stone. Prove your worth, he says, or join the failures in the village. Your throat's tight as a wire, but you bow, voice firm, and present your blade for testing. His hammer hovers, ready to shatter it if it's weak. By some miracle, the steel holds. It bends, springs back, edge true. You're spared, but the lesson's clear. You're one flaw away from ruin. You complete your first true katana, and the workshop hums with tension. A masterwork could make you a journeyman, but it puts a target on your back. You polish the blade in secret, whispering prayers to the steel gods, while rumours spread of seniors sabotaging junior forges. Sleep's impossible now. You wake at every sound, expecting your tools stolen. The master summons you again, and you're brought to his private workshop. Smoke thick as a funeral shroud. You present the blade, hand steady, voice respectful as moonlight, and he tests it. The edge cuts silk mid-air. You're named a journeyman. Congratulations, you've climbed one level in this hell, but the higher you rise, the harder they'll strike to break you. Kenji, your only friend, warns you of a plot. The scarred hand smiths bribed an assistant to ruin your next commission. Ruin means disgrace, not just you, but your family's name. You act fast, working through nights to finish early. When the sabotage comes, your blade's already delivered. The scarred hand smith's dragged before the master, his future broken. You win this round, but at what cost? Your hands tremble as you sharpen tools, knowing every success breeds more enemies. By 16, you're a survivor, an apprentice who's mastered the basics, but the game never ends. A new boy arrives, younger, faster, his strikes cleaner than yours at his age. The master's attention shifts. Your reputation's your only shield, but even that's not enough. When a typhoon destroys the workshop roof, you hear whispers of cuts, too many mouths, not enough commissions. Last time, a dozen apprentices were sent away. You work harder, praying you're not next. Survival's your masterpiece, but it's forged in blood, and it weighs more than any blade. You're 20. Your blade's now deadly art, in a forge that grinds souls into steel. You've survived sabotage, both from rivals and nature, but the air's different now, heavy with war and demand. The shogun needs swords. The master's reputation is rising, and whispers of a final test echo through the workshop. Your name's mentioned, you feel it in your bones. Then it happens. A rival smith, that snake from the neighbouring province, accuses you of stealing his tempering secrets. Espionage. The word means death. You're brought to the master's hall. Guards flanking the entrance. Your life's work displayed as evidence. The master's voice is ice. Confess or your family pays the price. Your mouth's dry as ash, but you demand proof. Praying Kenji can find the truth. The accusation hangs, heavy as an executioner's blade. Then a shout. Kenji bursts in, holding a stolen letter, proving the rival smith's lie. He bribed a merchant to plant false evidence. The master pauses, jaw tight. Justice is swift, not on you, but on your accuser. His forge is seized, reputation shattered. You're cleared, but your name's stained. You pour everything into a masterwork, a blade for the shogun himself. A risky gamble that could elevate you or destroy you. War intensifies and you're working now. Lungs thick with coal dust. The forge burns day and night. No rest for smiths. By 24, your body's failing. Hands gnarled, joints stiff from years of hammerwork. Lungs scarred from smoke. You're no longer the promising apprentice. A new generation is taking your place. Their hammers ringing where yours once did. But you've left a legacy. Your blades are carried by samurai, legendary for their edge and balance. You've trained younger smiths, teaching them to survive the forge's demands, passing on your hard-won wisdom. As you lie on a straw mat, fever consuming you, the forge roars on steel singing sparks flying. You were never just a swordsmith. You were a flame in Japan's warrior soul, a craftsman who forged death until it claimed you. Your last breath escapes like steam from quenched steel, but your blades carry your spirit, a cutting legacy in a world that tried to break you. So you survived the forge's brutal test. Click the card now, or miss the razor-sharp secrets of your life as a ninja assassin, where one wrong step in the shadows could end your story.